Hello and welcome to a new video on my channel, and this is going to be a squad builder on FIFA 16 obviously. So what I'm going to do is build the squad on here and then play a couple games and show you the highlights of those games. So basically what I did for this squad is I just kind of picked a couple players out of my club and just built a team. So the first player who I did pick was Iker Casillas, now at Porto of course, and so he goes into goal. And on the left side it actually works out because we have a left-footed center back called Marcano. That one, 79 version. He's actually left-footed, which works out because he ended up on the left side anyway due to the team. And then on the other side we have obviously Gerard Piqué, Spanish national team, teammates with Casillas, obviously rivals when Casillas was at Madrid. Then on the right back we of course have the Barcelona Dani Alves. He is actually leaving Barcelona at the end of the season and going to probably Juventus at this point. That's what it seems to be, which I'm actually okay with, and I'm really looking forward to using him in all of my Serie A teams at the beginning of next FIFA. So on the left we also have a Barcelona center back, and that of course is Jordi Alba. Also just ridiculously good in this game. Not really much to say about him. And then we have a non-rare in front of them, which is the regular card of Bruno. He does have all those special cards, but unfortunately I am poor, so I can't afford any of them. And then at the other side we have Arsenal's new signing, Xhaka. I tried to say his name before I finished. Apparently he got an upgrade. Completely forgot about that. We have the 81 version in the team. And then at center attacking mid, getting the strong link to Xhaka is the 80-rated Stindl, who I've converted down to a cam, and thankfully Foothead does the same. Here is the other strong link to both of them, which is of course the center forward Rafael. Also has a striker in form, but we're obviously not going to use that because once again I am poor. Also has a team of the season. On the other side, which links the whole thing together, is going to be, okay, apparently not, because I can't spell. I put an A in front of the I instead of like that, which is Thiago, from Bayern Munich obviously. And then up front we have Adrian Ramos, the beast. Where is he? There he is. The beast from Borussia Dortmund. And the manager, which is going to help you get 100 chem on the squad, actually is any Spanish manager with a Bundesliga manager league. So there's the whole team. I'm going to try to include an image of it in the video, and so you can actually see the whole thing at once. But there you go. You can pretty much see all the players there. You've got Casillas in goal, Marcano, Piqué, Alves, Alba at the back, Bruno and Xhaka in DM, and then we have Stindl, Thiago, Rafael, and Ramos in the attack. So without any further ado, let's get right into the games. Alright, so as we have some highlights in the background here, first thing about this team, it is about 15 to 20k, maybe like 17, 18k. Include the three most expensive players are going to be your Barcelona players. You got Piqué, Alves, and you got Alba. Those are going to be your expensive players. That's going to be about most of your budget there. The rest of the team's pretty cheap. And honestly, from the games I played, this team is fantastic. I played the first game here that you're watching in the first round of the Cup, and I came up against a bit of a scrub. He wasn't that good, had a mostly silver team. But nonetheless, I battered him. I absolutely battered him. And this team really did play well. And then for the second three games, the second game, the third game, and the fourth game, I played in Division 3, and I won 2 and drew 1, as Rafael scores there. And for me, really the standout players, Rafael, Stindl, who scored a couple of great goals, Xhaka, and even Marcano in defense. Marcano is really good. He just doesn't play as low as his rating. He seems a lot taller than 6'1". I know 6'1's not exactly short, but sometimes 6'1" center backs aren't that tall. They don't seem that commanding in the air. But he was really good. Casillas was surprisingly not a peanut in goal most of the time. You're going to see a great save from him coming up in the second game. Yeah, the second game against Ibrahimovic. And as you see, Rafael scores another goal there. And he was just outstanding. Rafael was far and away the best player in this team. You see, he has more pace than he seems to. He gets down the wing. He cuts inside. He just wiggles his way through. He has the agility of Neymar. He feels a lot like a right-hand side Neymar. He cuts in and he just wiggles around the defenders. And Thiago is pretty good. I don't know how I feel about him out wide. He did work for the chemistry. Xhaka was pretty good as well at his defensive role. And he also got on the score sheet here with a great finish on his right foot. If that's what he does this season at Arsenal, I will take that every day of the week. Who needs a striker when you have a center mid who can score goals? We still need a striker, but I'm sure it'll happen at some point. It won't be Vardy, which I'm okay with. That was a bit of a risk, honestly. Anyway, back to the team. It's just outstanding, unbelievable. All of the high-rated players played as their rating. They weren't horrible. Stindl scored a couple of absolute bangers. One of them, which you're gonna see coming up in a minute, also it's either in the second or the third game in these clips. It was an outstanding goal. I'll actually like point it out when it comes up because it is a ridiculous finish. Anyway, if you do need a cheap team and you do like to pass the ball, it's a very important thing. You need the style of play. You need to pass the ball a lot. You want to play those 1-2s and move the ball around. Then you will want this team for the price that it is. If you need a cheap team for the lower divisions, probably mid divisions, I don't know if the games I played in Div 3 were a fluke or what, but basically this is a really good mid-level team for anyone just starting out or whatever. As we got Ramos here. Ramos also really good, faster than his pace seems. That's the common theme. Most of these players, their pace says one thing, their in-game pace says another thing. As Lars Stindl scores a goal there, and the thing about this is you can make this team very expensive very quickly. You can buy a lot of the upgraded players, informs, special cards, team of the seasons, whatever it might be, and it would probably not even be that much better as we get into the second game here. Rafael is an interesting one because he's a center forward, he's a striker, but he played really, really well out wide as Stindl scores the first of his great goals in off the post, off the other post, into the goal. And it's good. It's good. So one more thing that I did want to mention in this segment is the name for this series, which I did not say in the intro because I recorded the intro before I came up with the name and before I played any of the games. I'm going to call this series Peasant Squads because it's basically I'm gonna try to focus it on teams that the everyday FIFA player can afford, because unfortunately for me, I am an everyday FIFA player and I don't have that many coins. The next one's gonna be a little bit more expensive, but like only because of one player, and we'll get onto that when we get there. As Ibra goes down in the box here, I'm like, oh, it's Ibra. Casillas is gonna struggle to save this, and then he proceeds with Ibra to take the worst penalty I've ever seen. Casillas saves it, it comes out, goes off his head, and we clear it. It was, when I was playing this game, I was shocked. I made a joke. I was like, Ibrahimovic, more like Chris MD. That penalty was so central, so like just terrible, that I dove to the right side, but I dove too far. But it was such a bad penalty that it just hit the goalkeeper without even like. And then we go right down the other end, we get another penalty, and this time I'm like, okay, so I just saved a penalty, which he probably should have scored. I'm like, alright, let's see, yep, Thiago's best penalty taker. Then it broke, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna miss this. So I switch it to Ramos, and I'm like, alright, I cannot miss this. I just saved the one down there. I need to, yep, bang, top corner, no problem. Ramos, good finisher, fast, strong. There's going to be another run in here very shortly where he just bullies off like 4 or 5 defenders, just throws them off, as you see, playing pretty well at halftime. So here we go. This is a good one. So Thiago, once again, not sure about him out wide. He's fast, he's quick, but he's not like particularly straight line speed. And then here's Stindl. Ramos, look at that finish. Look at that finish. He just absolutely bangs it top corner. And he did that a couple times. Look how much bigger he is than Rafael. He's huge. Yeah, so there's going to be a run in here very shortly where he just bullies off like 2 or 3 defenders and just full straight line sprinting down the pitch. Oh, yep, here it is. He goes around one, gets around Van der Wiel, goes past the defender there, Thiago Silva, I think, and then just passes it in. And obviously Rafael get a little bit fortunate to get the goal there, but nonetheless, good finish. And he runs off celebrating. And that was the second game. And here's the third team that I played. 92 Ibrahimovic, Legend Deco, Team of the Season Matuidi, 89 Thiago Silva. Every card is a special card. Lacazette up front as well. Mandanda in goal. And you may be thinking, oh, I thought you said you won 2 games and only drew 1. Yep, this was one of the wins. Figure that out. Oh, here's the Stindl goal. Thiago crossed in. I was aiming for Ramos. Bang! Scissor kicks it. Top corner. Just absolutely bangs. I don't know if he scissor kicked it. He just straight up volleyed it top corner. I was aiming to try to cross it to Ramos, and it just went straight to Stindl. He banged it in the goal. Absolutely great goal. Okay, so here's Stindl again getting involved. Gives it away to Umtidis, and Deco just didn't do much in this game, really. He did score this guy's goal, but other than that, he really wasn't the best. And then Ramos absolutely pummels that one top corner, and we get the 2-1 win. He did score 1 goal. He got a goal back, but Ramos and Stindl gave us enough. I basically was clinging on to a victory at the end because I just couldn't be bothered to try to score more goals and get wrecked. His Ibra didn't do anything, and it was PK versus Ibra twice. I said I felt bad for PK because he had to play Ibrahimovic 2 out of the 4 games. Half the time he was playing against Ibra. Alright, so here is the other game. I came up against a guy with a decent BPL team, and he goes straight through on me. See that right there? I left this in because I wanted to show you one of the negative things about Casillas, and that is he is a bit short. He doesn't always seem like it. He makes a lot of great saves because the acrobatic save style, but sometimes this happens. It just, you're like, I mean, you don't know if he could save it, but you have a sneaking suspicion that another goalkeeper might have been able to save that. So this is uncut, I think. Yep, we go right down the other end. Rafael cuts around the defender. You see, he does this all the time. He just cuts past defenders, basically just goes around Mangala, and then it comes out to Stindl, who just doesn't really do much with it, to be honest with you. And then, but he throws it out. He had a couple of chances in this game. This is the one where I struggled. I struggled for most of it, and then it did end well, but we'll get on to that. Marcano, as you see, making a bunch of tackles. He was really good at the back. Gives a perfect link to Casillas as well if you want to incorporate Casillas into a team, and you don't have like Ramos per se. If you wanted to make this team even cheaper, I guess you could use, I think Gaia would still work at left back. You could probably, as Ramos, just left-footed finish, by the way. That's the one thing that is very good about all of the attacking players, is they all have at least 4-star weak foot. So no matter what foot, even though they're all right-footed, if you get in the box, you can shoot, and it just beats check. And what a goal from on the weak foot. But like I was saying, if you want to make the team cheaper, you can go probably Gaia at left back. You can go pretty much any Spanish La Liga right back, or the Silver Douglas. I don't know if he's necessarily cheaper, as Ramos gets another goal there, instead of Dani Alves. And you could probably go Bartra instead of PK, or if you're really cheap, I guess you could go like Fernandez, the Nacho Fernandez, the non-rare Real Madrid player. And you could probably sneak a couple players in, change the team up a little bit. There's not really a lot of cost to lose, especially Thiago. You can't really take him out because he kind of only works for the chemistry. If you want to keep Ramos and like the main attacking players in, as Stindl scores a looping header, that was one of the least fantastic goals that he scored. if you want to keep the main core of the attacking players, you kind of have to build the back the same way. And obviously you can also upgrade this team quite a bit with the likes of Team of the Year Dani Alves, Man of the Match PK. You got, you know, a couple informed Casillas. How do you Casillas? Informed Thiago. Xhaka has a Man of the Match right now. Stindl has an inform. Raphael has a couple informs. You can make this team very expensive. You could probably swap. And that was... Okay, I take it back. That was the most ridiculous goal this team scored. Alves lobs the ball, pass check. Check just dives out of the way, and Stindl walks it into the net. So like I was saying, yeah, you could pretty much just upgrade this team, make it way more expensive. Or you could downgrade slightly, make it a little cheaper, but I don't think that 20k is too ridiculous for a team like this. It can win games in Division 3 pretty consistently. And so this is the last goal of the episode, and so it's the 90th minute. We're like, alright, what's going to happen here? It's already 4-2. Nobody really cares. And, oh, yep, here we go. Here's a throw-in. Thiago gets it, gives it to Stindl. Stindl passes to Ramos. Ramos turns. He's running inside. He gets brought down. I'm like, alright, I'm just going to, whatever. I'm just going to take this free kick. It's close enough. We can probably we could squeeze one more goal in here, right? Yep, Mangala gets the yellow, and he's like, oh, I didn't foul him. Whatever. I don't know why they do that animation when it's the most obvious challenge. It's not even that debatable, so I'm like, alright, I'll just take it with Thiago, whatever. And, Bosch, in the goal. Run off celebrating. That is the end of the episode. So, if you did like this concept, I've got a second one lined up right away with a bit more of a... I don't know if it's a hybrid. Yeah, it is a hybrid. This one was a hybrid too, but the next one's even more of a hybrid. And I've got another one lined up. If you did like this, make sure you have a like, leave some comments below with any teams that you want me to try to make, or a price bracket maybe. Anyway, I'm going to try to keep the squads cheap, and if you did enjoy it, make sure to subscribe because there will be more soon, and I will see you next time. Peace!